Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Frank and Craig with me to answer your tweets. The first one, in penalties, why do teams save the best for last? Shouldn't they start with the best and put the pressure on the opponent? That off the back of Cristiano Ronaldo not taking a penalty today in the Coppa Italia final because he was fifth, and by that time, Juve had already lost. What do you think, Craig?
Yeah, well, you know why he was fifth, don't you? And they can tell you all the baloney they want about his tactical. He wanted to score the winning penalty. That's why he went fifth, right? Because ultimately, that's kind of, you'd figure it out, that's what's going to happen. But it clearly, it didn't get there, so he was thwarted. You try and put your bit, you try and get out. Yeah, it is a difficult one, in all fairness. It is a difficult one. But you got to get to the end line. And if you don't put your best guy, at least at the top of the tree, then you might not get there, and that's what happened.
Frank?
Yeah, nothing much to add.
So Frank, once Dybala misses the first one, is there any sense of Ronaldo going, hey, you know what, maybe I should step in now and take penalty number 2 and kind of help Juve out? Would that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense, but I think you have to give a list to the referee. I don't know if you can move the list after that. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you're right, and Srika is right. The best player in penalty should shoot the first one to give the confidence to the rest of the team. And well, I was shooting penalties for Chelsea, so I was always the first to shoot. And again, it's just for the fame. It's just for the adulation of the fans, because you win at the end, and the teammates that you shoot at the end.
This, I think, is from an Arsenal fan. Well, definitely, Texas Schooner. Is it too late to void the season?
I saw an interesting tweet from an Arsenal supporter today, Chris Tarogni, who used to live in the USA, in a podcast, and he said, the government told us football starting again would lift our spirits. I thought that was quite good. Yeah, some long-suffering Arsenal fans. Yeah. No, it is too late, and maybe they'll turn it around. But I think Arteta's talk about the Champions League places not being out of reach was sort of shot down in flames in that sort of 90 minutes alone.
What's more predictable, Craig? Arsenal getting thrashed or technology in the Premier League again being at odds?
No, I think the technology, because Arsenal will pop up with the odd good performance and that gets people going, oh, things may be getting better. But the technology has been, this is just not getting any better. They don't know how to use it in England, seemingly.
Who's feeling worse today, Frank? Chris Wilder or Arteta?
Who's doing better?
Who's feeling worse? Arteta for Arsenal?
Oh, worst.
Or Chris Wilder for Sheffield United?
I think Arteta. I mean, there is nothing good to put out from the game today, and it's the first game after the restart, and you say, wow, where are we going to go? Of course, physically they're going to get better, but you see the spirit, you see the players that you have. I mean, that's not Arsenal that we used to know. When you are the Sheffield United coach, you do well, you draw away from home. That's mostly what they were looking for, but you're just frustrated. But there is nothing you can complain about the team spirit, so they're good to go.
Just before we get to the next question, Dan, before it comes in, we were talking about this. I think I heard somebody say, and I was saying this to you, Arsenal apparently came to the game in 2 buses, and it looked like that, by the way, when they played. But they came in 2 buses, and then I heard Arteta say in an interview pre-match that things are different. They're not. This is the new normal for the time being. But he said, well, even where we sit in the dressing room, it's had to change. And I'm thinking, what the hell are you talking about? This has gone mad. They've all been tested. What do you mean social distancing in the dressing room? They've got to go out and play in the field. They've got to stand next to each other in the penalty box. I mean, it's just, I understand you've got to take precautions, but all these people have been tested. 2 buses to a game, so that there's not too many people within the one bus when they've already all been tested, and that's why they're there. And then sitting so many metres apart in a dressing room, and you've got to go in the same field and stand next to each other. Utter nonsense.
Have either of you ever had a performance as bad as David Luiz had today?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Well, listen, it happens. It happens. I mean, I don't know defensively, as bad a performance, but I can remember just the odd game where you got off to a really bad start and your confidence drains and you just have one of those days. But, you know, I think David Luiz has had worse days. Don't get me wrong. This was just another bad day, but I would even hazard the guess this is not in his top 5.
Wow.
Right? Put it that way.
7-1, you would suggest, is definitely number 1 of his list. Frank?
Not as bad as that, where you are involved in 2 big mistakes, who in fact is almost the result of at the end of the game. But yeah, to have a bad performance, to feel bad, to always be late, anticipating the wrong way, make a very bad pass when you give, in fact, almost an assist to the striker. And it happened to me on the Classico Marseille against Paris Saint-Germain at home, where I tried to launch a long ball and I gave it straight to the feet of Ronaldinho, who went to score from halfway, and I couldn't catch him because it was too fast. And you have all the shame in the world. When you're a defender, you have to be ready for that. And when you're a goalkeeper, you know it's going to happen.
Craig Cannon, should
Frank,
go on.
Hey, Frank, what about Frank never had a bad. What about that game at Anfield when we got beat 5-1? You were all over the shop. You were all over the parish. Do you remember?
Yeah, that was. Yeah, that was.
Whose fault was that?
I scored. I think. I mean, that was horrible. That was the first big defeat that we had in the season. We were all over the place. I mean, I remember Andy Myers was playing next to me, and we were talking and say, "Oh my God, it's going to be a very, very bad day." That was the first big souvenir at Anfield Road. Yeah, that was a bad one.
Cannon, should the Premier League intervene, Craig, and award Sheffield the 3 points with potential massive implications for both United and Villa?
No, you just can't do it. You just can't do it. You can't go back and re-referee games after the fact. It's happened. It shouldn't have happened. As I say, they were too reliant on technology and not on human instinct to make a critical decision. And Chris Wilder will be extremely peeved about the whole thing. But it can't be re-refereed now. You can't go back and change it because, you know, errors happen during hundreds of games over the course of a whole season, and you can't go back and change them all. It was just a glaring one today, an absolutely glaring one. So legally, these cannot be overturned.
Which league has created the best atmosphere in the stadiums, Frank? La Liga, Bundesliga, or the Premier League?
For the fake crowd that we hear?
Yeah.
I will go for Germany. I mean, in Premier League, that was awful today. I mean, that was a big sound and nothing to do with the actions. That was pretty annoying. I was saying to my wife watching them, I went to silence because it was better for me to watch the game like that. But the Bundesliga does well. Because maybe they started earlier and they're used to it now, but they try to stick to the action at least.
Craig?
I quite like the virtual fans in some of those Spanish games that we saw.
Yeah.
I think the Barcelona game away.
Yeah, all of them. All of them have got virtual fans.
Yeah, but the one that caught my eye was the first Barcelona game away at Mallorca, and I know the replays, you didn't see it, but who cares? It's not a surprise. So I thought they did quite well, but I thought Germany nailed it really after the first couple of weeks with the sound and all that goes with it. And I thought the Premier League today was nothing short of 2 bob or 2 cents, as you would say here in the US, because it was awful. And I quite liked it. We say, well, we'll have to go away and look at it. I mean, how difficult is it? You know what I mean? It's like, get the mix right, for God's sake. So they had a bad opening, put it that way.
Final question, Frank, off the back of Stevie and his nonsense yesterday. Do you know your right from your left?
Of course.
Yes, yes. Well, that's what.
Yeah, right, left.
Yeah. Stevie needs some lessons.
Thank you.
Why? Hold on, tell me why you didn't know that, because the producer was trying to get us to watch a video, and I'm just not going to do that.
So basically, I said to Stevie, "What's that on your left?" And he kept going to his right, and he goes, "Yeah, but you're looking at me, so your right is my left." I don't know. It just.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's just standard Stevie, complicating everything.
Yeah. He mentioned to me today that you were annoying him yesterday, that you were trying to be smart and you were trying to knock him. He said he was trying to knock me off my stride, and I said, well, that's not difficult.
No.
So but he was having a right moan about you this morning at the golf course.
Yeah. Then he called me something which I think we had to edit out as well.
Yes, he mentioned it was a couple of faux pas that he said.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, gents. I think Stevie's back with us tomorrow. Be sure to join us. We'll be looking back at Real Madrid against Valencia. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.